Dr. Adrian Stone's hands moved as he reconstructed the shattered jawline of the trauma patient before him. The operating room maintained its characteristic silence, broken only by the steady beep of monitors and the occasional metallic clink of instruments. "Forceps," he commanded, his voice carrying the quiet authority that had made him Portland's most sought-after reconstructive surgeon. A nurse placed the instrument in his hand with practiced efficiency. "Dr. Stone, blood pressure is holding steady at 110/70, the anesthesiologist reported." Adrian nodded, his focus unwavering as he completed the final sutures. This was his domain, where control meant everything, where precision determined outcomes, where his reputation for excellence had been built one patient at a time. "Close him up," Adrian instructed his resident. "I want post-op monitoring every 30 minutes for the first 6 hours. As he scrubbed out, his phone buzzed with a message from Camilla Montgomery Stone. The twins' art teacher had called to say that Ava's painting had been selected for the school exhibition. A rare smile crossed his face. After 8 years of fertility treatments, the twins were their miracle. He remembered the day Dr. Miranda Ellis at Cascade Fertility Institute had called with the news of Camilla's pregnancy. They'd beaten the odds. And now Ava and Mason were everything he dreamed of. The automatic doors of the surgical wing parted as Adrian strode toward his office. Nurses and staff instinctively stepped aside, their respectful nods acknowledging his presence. He'd earned that respect through thousands of successful surgeries and an unwavering dedication to perfection. "Dr. Stone," a voice called out behind him. He turned to see Jessica Ramirez, one of the new lab technicians, hurrying to catch up. Her typical confidence seemed shaken, a detail that did not escape his notice. "What is it?" she asked, falling into step beside him. "Sir, I've been processing the updated medical records for the new insurance requirements." Clutching a tablet to her chest, she continued, "There are some inconsistencies in your genetic screening results." Adrian stopped abruptly, fixing her with an intense stare that made her take a step back. "Inconsistencies," she whispered. "Yes, sir. The markers in your current blood work don't align with the historical data. I've run the analysis 3 times to be sure." Adrian's jaw tightened. "Send everything to my private email. I want the raw data, not just the analysis." His voice dropped to a quiet intensity that made her freeze. "This stays between us. Is that clear?" "Of course, Dr. Stone. I'll send it right away," she replied. He watched her retreat, his mind already calculating possibilities and implications. In surgery, unexpected findings meant adapting the surgical plan. This would require the same approach. The elevator ride to his office gave him time to compose a message to Camilla. "Working late. Don't wait up." He didn't mention that he would be missing dinner with his father, Edward Stone, and his supposed best friend, Daniel Wright. The 3 had been spending an unusual amount of time together lately, often with the twins. His father's recent behavior had been particularly grating. Edward Stone, the banking magnate who had spent years criticizing Adrian's choice of medicine over finance, had suddenly become effusive in his praise, not of Adrian, but of Daniel's business acumen. "Nathan, my boy." Edward's voicemail played as Adrian entered his office. "Shame you'll miss dinner. Daniel's just closed a remarkable deal. The twins adore him. You know, Mason shows real promise in finance. Perhaps he'll follow in Daniel's footsteps rather than yours." Adrian deleted the message without finishing it. He pulled up Jessica's email, the genetic data filling his screen. The inconsistencies were obvious, even to his trained eye. These weren't simple testing variations. Someone had deliberately altered his historical records. His phone rang again. It was Dr. Miranda Ellis from the fertility clinic. He answered immediately. "Adrian, we need to talk." Her voice was tight with professional concern. "I found some irregularities in our records." "I'm dealing with something similar," he replied in a measured tone. "Meet me in my office in 30 minutes. While waiting for Ellis, Adrian accessed the hospital's secure system, pulling up every record related to his fertility treatments. Years of tests, procedures, and results filled his screen. He had worked with Christopher Hayes, the chief technician, throughout the process. Hayes's recent death had made headlines in medical circles. Dr. Miranda Ellis sat in her office at Cascade Fertility Institute, her usual composure slipping as she stared at her computer screen. The encryption on Christopher Hayes's files was sophisticated, far beyond what a lab technician should have been using. She had been working late into the evening, following digital breadcrumbs that led to increasingly disturbing conclusions. A knock on her door made her jump. Oliver Winters stood in the doorway, his administrative badge gleaming under the office lights. "Working late, Dr. Ellis?" he asked with a smile that did not match his eyes. "Anything I should know about?" "Routine file maintenance," she replied smoothly, minimizing her screen. "The transition to the new system is creating some anomalies." Oliver stepped into her office uninvited. "Interesting. I noticed you accessed Hayes's encrypted files earlier. Finding anything unusual?" "Nothing worth reporting," she maintained. "Just cleaning up old records." "Ah, yes." Christopher was rather disorganized toward the end. Oliver moved closer. "Speaking of organization, I've been reviewing our equipment purchase history. Some interesting patterns emerge." Miranda's hand moved slowly toward her phone. "Oh, indeed. Large purchases authorized by Hayes, all processed through Pinnacle Health Solutions." Oliver picked up a framed photo from her desk, her daughter's graduation picture. "Beautiful family, Miranda. It would be a shame if anything happened to disrupt their lives." The threat hung in the air between them. Miranda straightened in her chair, meeting his gaze directly. "Are you threatening me, Mr. Winters?" "Threatening? No. He set the photo down with exaggerated care. "Just reminiscing about poor Christopher. Depression is a terrible thing, especially when it leads to unfortunate decisions." After Winters left, Miranda's hand shook as she dialed Adrian's number. The call connected immediately. "Adrian, we have a problem. Winters just threatened me. He knows we're looking into Hayes's files." "Don't move," Adrian said in a voice of steely resolve. "I'm bringing someone in, a PI named Raven Thorne. I reconstructed her face after a car accident. She owes me." "Adrian, there's more. Hayes's death. It matches 2 other fertility clinic technicians' deaths across the country. Each clinic had connections to Pinnacle Health Solutions, my father's company." Adrian's voice hardened further. "Stay where you are. Raven will be there in 20 minutes. Miranda began gathering essential files onto an encrypted drive. The data painted a disturbing picture: systematic tampering with records, unexplained payments, and a pattern of genetic material being processed through unusual channels. Her office door opened again. This time, Victor Knight stood there, impeccably dressed despite the late hour. "Dr. Ellis," he smiled warmly, "I believe we need to discuss some sensitive matters regarding certain clients' privacy." Before she could respond, Adrian appeared behind Knight, his presence commanding immediate attention. "Knight," his voice carried a warning. "This is a restricted area." "Ah, Dr. Stone." Victor's smile faltered slightly. "Mr. Winters was kind enough to escort me. We have some concerns about patient confidentiality." "Patient confidentiality?" Adrian stepped closer. "Or are we discussing Pinnacle Health Solutions?" Knight's smile faltered further. "That's a complex matter, Dr. Stone. One that involves many interested parties, including my father's bank, or perhaps my wife's new patron." Miranda watched the exchange, her hand gripping the encrypted drive. Knight's composure cracked further. "You're out of your depth, Stone," he murmured in a lowered voice. "This goes beyond your little family drama. Get out, or I'll have security remove you." Adrian's command left no room for argument. "Before I do, tell me, what did you find?" Miranda handed him the drive. "Evidence of systematic tampering, records altered, genetic materials processed through unusual channels, all connected to Pinnacle Health Solutions." At that moment, Adrian's phone buzzed with a message from Camilla about the twins' upcoming birthday party. He ignored it, focusing on the data before him. I've hired Raven to investigate everyone. My father, Daniel, Camilla, Knight, everyone. He declared. Miranda hesitated. There's something else. The genetic profiles. They don't match what we were told. His expression turned to granite. Explain. The twins' genetic markers, they're not what they should be. Someone manipulated more than just records. The Stone Mansion hummed with activity as Portland's artistic elite gathered for the twins' 5th birthday party. Camilla moved through the crowd in a designer dress, every inch the successful artist and perfect mother. Adrian watched from his study as she touched Victor Knight's arm, laughing at something he had whispered. Quite a turnout, murmured Daniel Wright, appearing beside Adrian and holding 2 glasses of scotch. The twins are thrilled. Adrian accepted the drink, studying his supposed best friend's face. They deserve the best. Listen, Daniel, he said. Daniel shifted uncomfortably. There's something we should discuss, a business opportunity, Edward thought. Later, Adrian cut him off as he spotted Camilla leading Knight toward the grand staircase. Excuse me, he said, following them discreetly, years of experience lending stealth to his movements. Their whispered conversation drifted down the hallway. The arrangements are final, Knight murmured. Everything's proceeding as planned. Victor, Camilla hissed. Not here. Adrian's been asking questions about the fertility clinic. Let him ask. Someone interjected. The records are secure, and Hayes's death closed any loose ends. Adrian stepped around the corner, making both of them jump. Discussing business or pleasure. Camilla's face paled. Adrian, we were just lying? Plotting? Choose carefully, Camilla. Tonight's revelations might determine the twins' future. Knight stepped forward, smooth as ever. Dr. Stone, perhaps we should discuss this privately. Oh, we will, Adrian replied in a voice that carried lethal calm. Right after I speak with my wife, Camilla, in the bedroom. Now. She followed him, shooting a panicked glance at Knight. In their bedroom, Adrian closed the door with deliberate softness. Camilla, whatever you think, I know about the fertility clinic. He cut her off. About Hayes. About Pinnacle Health Solutions. Camilla's artistic composure cracked. You don't understand. Want the truth? Her voice rose hysterically. Your best friend gave me 2 beautiful children while you couldn't. We've been meeting in your bed for 3 years, and your father helped us hide it. He says Daniel is the son he always wanted. Adrian's laugh shocked them both. Funny, the fertility clinic just called. Daniel has been sterile since birth. So who's really been lying? The color drained from both their faces. In the doorway, Edward Stone dropped his whiskey glass. The shattering sound drew Victor Knight from the guest room. This is a private conversation. Adrian's voice remained controlled. Though I'm not surprised to find you lurking, Knight. Tell me, what's your real role in all this? Edward recovered first. Son, you don't understand the complexities. I understand perfectly. Adrian advanced on his father. You used my fertility struggles for your own agenda. Used Daniel as a front. Camilla as a distraction. Tell me, father, was it worth destroying your only son's family? The arrangements were necessary, Edward insisted. The genetic materials we provided were never what you claimed. Adrian finished. I have proof of everything. Camilla moved toward the door, but Adrian's voice froze her. Don't move. Adrian, please, she begged. The twins need their mother. The twins need truth, he corrected, which is exactly what they'll get. All of it. Knight stepped forward. Consider carefully, Dr. Stone. Some truths are better left buried. Like Hayes's death. Adrian's smile was terrible to behold. Like the other technicians, like the real source of the genetic materials used in your operation. Edward's face went ashen. You can't prove anything. I already have. Adrian replied. Every document copied. Every transaction traced. Every lie exposed. Surgery requires precision. Father, so does revenge. The sound of breaking glass downstairs interrupted them. Raven Thorne appeared in the doorway, files in hand. It's all here, Dr. Stone. Everything you need. Camilla sank to the floor, her perfect world crumbling. Daniel appeared in the doorway, his face shocked as he realized the depth of the deception. The twins, are they safe? He asked. Safe, Adrian assured him. Unlike everyone else in this room. As security began clearing the party guests, Adrian walked to his study. The twins' photos smiled up from his desk, their 5th birthday portrait, taken just hours ago. His phone buzzed with a message from Dr. Ellis. More evidence found. This goes deeper than we thought. Adrian Stone had built his life on precision and control. They'd stolen that from him, violated his family's future. Now, as his perfect life lay in ruins around him, he felt the surgeon's calm settle over him. Sometimes, healing required destruction. Sometimes, the only way forward was through the wreckage. He picked up the twins' photo, remembering Camilla's words about Daniel being their father. She had been wrong about that. Wrong about everything. Biology didn't make family. Truth did. In her dimly lit office, Raven Thorne manipulated database records with practiced proficiency. Each keystroke revealed another layer of the Stone family's deception. She touched her reconstructed face, a reminder of why this case meant more than money. Dr. Stone, she spoke into her secured phone. I found something significant. Adrian arrived within 30 minutes, his presence commanding immediate attention. Show me. Raven pulled up a series of documents. These are sales records from 3 private collectors. She highlighted identical paintings with matching dates. Your wife has been selling the same works multiple times to different buyers. Adrian studied the transactions. The prices are inflated. Classic money laundering. Raven confirmed, each sale facilitated by Victor Knight. He's not just an art patron. He's a black market dealer with syndicate connections across Asia and Europe. She opened Christopher Hayes' decrypted files. The fertility clinic technician was running a sophisticated operation. Designer genetic materials sold to wealthy clients worldwide through Pinnacle Health Solutions. My father's involvement. Edward Stone provided the financial framework. Art purchases and medical equipment sales laundered the proceeds. Raven played a surveillance recording of Edward speaking to Daniel. Those children are your legacy. Adrian may be my son by blood, but you understand the true value of family. Adrian's expression hardened. Show me the genetic profiles. The data revealed a carefully orchestrated deception. The fertility clinic had selected materials specifically matching Daniel's appearance, maintaining the illusion of his paternity while hiding the true nature of the operation. The clinic wasn't just helping infertile couples, Raven explained. They were marketing premium genetic materials to wealthy international clients. Your father's organization called it legacy preservation. Hayes' death. Raven projected a map. 3 other fertility clinic technicians died the same way. Each clinic processed materials through Pinnacle Health Solutions. Each death followed access to encrypted files. Professional executions. Adrian concluded, yes. And Victor Knight's organization extends beyond art and genetics. They are connected to pharmaceutical companies, research firms, private hospitals, all focused on genetic optimization. Adrian absorbed the information. Camilla's involvement. She was an active participant. These documents show her authorizing specific genetic selections. She worked directly with Knight's organization, using her art career as cover. His phone buzzed with a message from Camilla asking about an upcoming gallery event. Knight's organization uses art shows for client meetings, Raven explained, and the paintings sometimes contain encoded information about genetic materials and banking data. And my father's bank created the entire infrastructure. The art fraud provides cover for international genetic material trafficking. Adrian's expression remained impassive. Daniel's role. A carefully constructed illusion. Your father orchestrated every detail to convince him about the twins while hiding the true operation. Raven pulled up recent surveillance footage. But he's starting to ask questions about the clinic and Hayes's death. Edward is getting nervous. Adrian stood, his demeanor carrying deadly certainty. Track everything. I want to know every player, every connection, every weakness. As he turned to leave, he added, Dr. Stone, Raven, Knight's organization is more extensive than we've uncovered. This will get dangerous. Adrian smiled grimly. I cut people apart for a living, Miss Thorne. The only difference here is they won't be put back together. Dr. Miranda Ellis's office remained untouched since her death, her computer still running decryption programs. The official report called it suicide, matching the conclusion for Christopher Hayes and the other technicians. Adrian studied the scene with medical detachment. Nothing about the physical evidence suggested suicide to someone who understood human anatomy intimately. Oliver Winters had disappeared, leaving an obvious trail toward South America. His body turned up in a Buenos Aires hotel room. A staged suicide that didn't fit the forensic evidence. Dr. Stone. A quiet voice interrupted his analysis. Sophia Lynn, a senior nurse practitioner, stood in the doorway clutching a thick envelope. Adrian recognized her from his fertility treatments. Ms. Lynn, she said nervously as she entered, I maintain separate records. Christopher Hayes insisted we keep duplicates of certain files. He said they might be needed if anything happened. Inside the office, Sophia spread documents across the desk. I saw your twins' photo from their birthday party. Christopher had special files about them, about the program they came from. The documents reveal an exclusive operation run through Knight's organization. The Premium Collection. Genetic materials sourced from selected donors, marketed globally through Pinnacle Health Solutions. Your role? Adrian asked. I've been working 5 years on special orders, the ones coming through Mr. Knight. These are the real records, not the sanitized versions. She indicated the genetic profiles. Your twins' materials came from the highest tier. The typical clients, wealthy individuals worldwide. But your case was different. Mr. Knight handled it personally with your father and Mr. Winters. Adrian studied her carefully. Why show me this? Because Christopher was murdered. Because Dr. Ellis was killed for asking questions. Because your twins deserve to know their true heritage. Sophia pulled out detailed analyses. The materials weren't just premium. They came from carefully preserved genetic lines. That's why Mr. Knight took special interest. You understand the risk you're taking. They killed my colleagues, made it look like suicide. The truth needs to come out. Adrian nodded. Document everything. Every procedure, every transaction, every conversation. Can you do that? I already have 5 years of hidden records. Good. You'll be contacted by Raven Thorne. Tell her everything you've told me. Show her these documents. Adrian handed her a business card with a federal agent's contact. This person is also investigating Knight's organization. They need to know about the genetic trafficking. After Sophia left, Adrian examined Ellis's office one final time. Her death had been staged to look like despair, but Dr. Ellis had died pursuing truth. The evidence she'd gathered, combined with Hayes's hidden files and Sophia's testimony, would ensure that truth emerged. His phone displayed a message from Edward. Son, we need to discuss this investigation. There are family matters to consider. Tomorrow morning, my office, Adrian replied. Excellent, Edward responded. I have a business proposition to discuss, a new direction in fertility services. Adrian's mind calculated possibilities. Every confrontation required perfect timing. White-collar crime investigations demanded patience. FBI Special Agent Diana Harper had built her career understanding this, but the evidence Adrian Stone provided accelerated her case significantly. Art fraud, genetic trafficking, international money laundering. Knight's organization had grown overconfident. Your situation presents an opportunity, Diana told him in her office. They'll expect emotional reactions, rash decisions. I don't act rashly, Adrian stated. Exactly why this works. While they watch for breakdown, We gather evidence. Edward Stone was already reaching out. Adrian showed her his father's messages, offering a partnership in a new venture. They're planning something significant. Multiple international clients arriving in Portland. Diana studied surveillance photos. Executives from pharmaceutical companies, investment groups, expanding the operation. Your father's new venture isn't just about fertility. It's about controlling the global market for genetic materials. Edward always thought beyond banking. This gives him power over human genetics itself. Diana met his gaze directly. You understand the risks. These people eliminate threats permanently, like Dr. Ellis, like Hayes. Adrian's expression remained clinical. In surgery, hesitation kills. Daniel writes asking dangerous questions. Diana reported about the clinic and Hayes's death. Edward's perfect son, used as cover while believing he fathered my children. We could protect him, use his testimony. Not yet. Edward's nervousness makes him vulnerable. Diana observed, once we move, there's no returning. Your wife, your father, will face consequences. Everyone involved will answer for their choices. Adrian finished. Edward's message appeared on Adrian's phone, requesting another meeting. They're accelerating their plans, Diana noted. Then we matched their pace. Adrian replied. Every meeting documented. Every conversation recorded. Build the case systematically. Remember, let them think you're desperate. A man losing control appeals to their arrogance. Adrian's expression hardened. When this ends, it ends absolutely. No deals, no mercy. The twins will know everything. Their true heritage, their origins. But first, justice. Camilla's message appeared. We need to discuss the future. Please, Adrian, for the family. His reply was simple. Soon. Diana recognized the controlled fury in his posture. Like a surgeon preparing for a complex procedure, Adrian Stone would ensure precision in every cut, every incision into the web of lies surrounding his family. No one would escape the truth's razor edge. Camilla Montgomery Stone stood before her masterpiece in the pristine gallery space, adjusting its position with practiced precision. Blood ties dominated the wall, a massive portrait of the twins interwoven with abstract patterns that, to the right eyes, contained far more than artistic expression. Perfect placement. Victor Knight commented, his manicured hand resting on her shoulder. Our guests will be most interested in the details. Adrian knows something, Camilla whispered, glancing at the other pieces. Each hides encrypted account numbers and client data within their compositions. He's been too quiet since our confrontation. Everything's in place. Knight dismissed. By tonight, the transfers will be complete, and his little investigation becomes irrelevant. Across the gallery, Edward Stone engaged with early arrivals, wealthy collectors who understood the true value of tonight's exhibition. The new fertility venture launches next month, he assured a Chinese pharmaceutical executive. Tonight's proceeds ensure global distribution. Adrian Stone entered without fanfare, his surgical scrubs replaced by an impeccable suit. He moved through the crowd with measured steps, acknowledging greetings with professional detachment. Camilla approached him, her champagne flute trembling slightly. I wasn't sure you'd come and miss your triumph. His voice carried calculated pleasantness. The twins would have loved to attend. Where are they? Edward interrupted, joining them with forced joviality. Safe, Adrian replied simply, with someone I trust. In fact, Ava and Mason were settled in a secure location, protected by Sophia Lynn and a team of federal marshals. Dr. Rebecca Torres, a child psychologist, had spent weeks preparing them, documenting the psychological manipulation they'd endured. They should be here, Camilla insisted. This exhibition celebrates family, does it not? Dr. Stone, is it family, or does it celebrate fraud? Like the 3 copies of this piece you've already sold to private collectors. Camilla's composure cracked slightly. You don't understand art marketing, she protested. I understand genetic trafficking, Adrian replied quietly. premium collections, designer materials, royal lineages sold to the highest bidder. Edward stepped closer. Son, you're making accusations. No, father, I'm stating facts. Would you like me to detail them? The offshore accounts, the murdered technicians, the international syndicate using art sales to launder genetic material profits. Victor Knight materialized beside them, smooth as ever. Dr. Stone, this is hardly the venue. It's the perfect venue. Adrian corrected. Your clients are all here. Shall I introduce them? The pharmaceutical executive by the window, the Saudi prince examining the abstracts, the Chinese officials pretending to discuss brush techniques. Knight warned softly, think carefully. Accidents happen even to children. Adrian smiled. Like Dr. Ellis's accident, or Christopher Hayes's amateur work, a surgeon spots the inconsistencies immediately. Adrian, please. Camilla grabbed his arm. We can explain everything. He removed her hand with clinical detachment. You already have. Every meeting recorded, every transaction documented, every lie exposed. Edward's face darkened. You're bluffing. Am I? Adrian turned to the main portrait. Shall we discuss what an X-ray of this painting would reveal? The client lists, banking codes, details of the premium collection's true sources. Victor Knight's hand moved toward his jacket, but Adrian's voice stopped him. I wouldn't. My death triggers automatic data releases to every major law enforcement agency worldwide. Imagine the headlines. An international genetic trafficking ring exposed. Your clients would love the publicity. What do you want? Edward demanded. Justice, Adrian stated simply. For the families you've deceived, the lives you've destroyed, the laws you've broken. We gave people what they wanted. Victor argued. Perfect genetics, designed children, power over human evolution itself. You played God. Adrian corrected. You used my children as cover. You used Daniel as a puppet. You used Camilla's art to hide your crimes. The twins are your legacy. Edward insisted. Superior genetics, carefully chosen. They're my children. Adrian's voice could have cut steel. Not your science experiment, not Knight's merchandise, not Camilla's props for maintaining cover. Camilla backed away, reading the truth in his expression. What have you done? What a surgeon does. Adrian replied. Identified the disease, planned the procedure, prepared to cut it out. The gallery doors opened as FBI agent Diana Harper led her team inside, weapons drawn. Federal agents, everyone stay where you are. Edward lunged for a side exit, but found it blocked. Knight reached for his phone only to find the signal dead. Camilla stood frozen before her masterpiece as agents began securing the scene. The paintings are evidence, Adrian informed the stunned crowd. Every piece documented, every forgery tracked, every hidden code about to be exposed. He turned to his father. Your new fertility venture, already under federal investigation. Those international clients you were courting. Interpol has their files. You've destroyed everything. Edward snarled. No, father. You did that when you decided your own son's family was an acceptable sacrifice for profit. Knight attempted one last play. The twins' genetic profile alone is worth millions. Think of their future. It will be built on truth, not your lies. Adrian cut him off. As agents led the gallery guests into custody, Adrian studied the portrait of his children. Behind the visible image, he knew, lay encoded data about their genetic heritage, proof of Edward and Knight's international trafficking operation. But he saw something else too. Despite the calculated genetic selection, despite the premium donor materials, despite all the manipulation, Ava and Mason had become uniquely themselves. The exhibition meant to bolster Camilla's art world status and facilitate Knight's operation had instead become its downfall. Each painting contained evidence, each brush stroke a data point, each sale provided proof of international fraud. Adrian had ensured every piece was documented, every transaction traced, every connection exposed. His children were safe. The truth would be revealed. And Adrian Stone, with a surgeon's precision and a father's determination, had cut out the cancer that threatened his family. The gallery's main space transformed into a processing center as federal agents documented evidence. Camilla's masterpiece, the portrait of the twins with Daniel, stood as silent witness, while X-ray equipment revealed its hidden contents. Full client list, Agent Diana Harper confirmed as she studied the results. Banking codes, genetic profiles, international transfer records, all encoded in the abstract patterns. Adrian watched dispassionately as Edward Stone was led away in handcuffs, his attempt at escape thwarted by the undercover agent who had been posing as his private helicopter pilot. "You betrayed your own blood." Edward spat as he passed. "No, father. I honored it by choosing truth over profit, justice over power, my children over your ambition." Victor Knight, usually smooth and controlled, had lost his composure entirely when the X-ray revealed the extent of evidence hidden in the paintings. "This is impossible," he exclaimed. "The encoding method was unbreakable." "Nothing's unbreakable," Adrian informed him, "especially when one of your own programmers decided to cooperate." Camilla's final desperate play unfolded exactly as Adrian had predicted. She turned to the lead agent, tears perfectly calculated. "I was forced into this. Daniel and you threatened me, used my children as leverage. I had no choice." "An interesting claim," Agent Harper interrupted, producing a file contradicted by years of recorded conversations. "Would you like to hear them?" Daniel Wright stepped forward, his wires still transmitting. "Like our meeting last week, Camilla, when you bragged about how many copies of each painting you'd sold, or perhaps the conversation about selecting genetic materials for the premium collection." Camilla's artistic poise shattered. "Daniel, you were working with them." "I learned from Edward." Daniel's voice carried bitter irony. "About manipulation, about using people, about betrayal." Sophia Lynn appeared with another set of files, Hayes's original records, meticulously preserved. The genetic profiles, transfer documents, client meetings, everything Christopher documented before they killed him. Adrian watched as Camilla's composure crumbled with each layer of deception stripped away. The carefully constructed image of a successful artist and devoted mother dissolved under the weight of evidence. "The twins," Camilla pleaded one last time. "They need their mother. They need truth." Adrian cut her off. "Dr. Torres has documented years of psychological manipulation, how you and Edward used them as props for Knight's operation, how you prioritized the syndicate over their welfare. We gave them everything." Edward shouted as his agents prepared to transport him. "Perfect genetics, elite heritage, power. You gave them lies. You used my fertility struggles to hide your trafficking operation. You used my best friend as cover. You used my children as merchandise in your premium collection." Knight attempted to negotiate even in handcuffs. "The genetic profiles are worth millions. We could make a deal." "No deals." Adrian's voice carried surgical finality. "No compromises, no mercy." Agent Harper supervised the evidence collection. The genetic testing results confirmed decades of illegal operations, international trafficking, money laundering, fraud, and murder. Hayes knew too much. Sophia added. "Like Dr. Ellis, they died protecting the truth about what was happening to these families." Edward Stone's banking empire began crumbling in real time as news of his arrest spread. Trading suspended, accounts frozen, international authorities moving on Pinnacle Health Solutions operations worldwide. Camilla's artistic reputation died with each revealed forgery. Multiple sales of the same works, encoded data about genetic material transactions, years of using art to facilitate international crimes. Daniel watched it all with mixed emotions. "I believed him," he told Adrian. "Every lie about being the twins' father, every manipulation about family legacy, every promise about the future. He groomed you for years. Adrian replied without rancor, used your loyalty against you, like he used my trust in Camilla, like he used my children as cover for his operation. The evidence mounted. Each painting revealed new data under X-ray analysis. Each decoded message provided more proof. Each recorded conversation confirmed the scope of the conspiracy. Edward Stone's attempt to maintain control failed completely. His confidence shattered as agents revealed the extent of their investigation. The international clients he had courted turned witness for leniency. The private hospitals participating in his scheme rushed to cooperate. Knight's organization collapsed as authorities moved simultaneously across continents. Bank accounts frozen, properties seized, operations exposed. The premium genetic collection program was revealed as an international trafficking operation. Camilla's final betrayal, attempting to blame Adrian and Daniel, backfired spectacularly. Years of recorded conversations proved her willing participation. Hayes's files documented her involvement in genetic material selection. Sophia's testimony confirmed her active role in maintaining the deception. Adrian watched it all with a surgeon's detachment. Like removing a tumor, the process required precision, patience, and absolute commitment to extracting every trace of disease. 1 year later, Adrian Stone's home had transformed. Gone were the pretenses, the hidden agendas, the elaborate deceptions. In their place, truth, transparency, and genuine connection. The twins thrived under his care. Their sessions with Dr. Rebecca Torres, helping them process the manipulation they'd endured. They understood now that family meant more than genetics or social status. "Daddy, Olivia," a voice called from the study. "Look what I found." An old family photo album had been opened to reveal a picture of Adrian at her age. "We have your smile," the child declared proudly. "Even if we don't have your blood." Adrian joined them, noticing how the same determined expression he had worn in childhood now appeared in his children's faces. "Family isn't about blood," he reminded them. "It's about truth, loyalty, and love." Sophia Lynn arrived for her regular after-school session with the twins. She had become more than their caregiver. She represented the truth and integrity that had been missing from their early years. "Dr. Stone." She greeted him professionally, though they both knew she had become part of their reconstructed family. The twins have been excited about their science project. The irony did not escape Adrian. His children, products of carefully selected premium genetic materials, now explored science with genuine curiosity rather than predetermined expectations. Edward Stone and Camilla faced federal charges, their trial revealing the full scope of international genetic trafficking. Knight's organization crumbled as authorities seized assets worldwide. The art world's rejection of Camilla was absolute. Edward's banking empire dissolved under investigation. The fertility clinic scandal prompted nationwide reforms. Adrian established a foundation supporting families affected by genetic black market schemes, turning his personal tragedy into systemic change. His partnership with agent Diana Harper evolved beyond professional collaboration. Their shared commitment to justice, their understanding of sacrifice, created an unexpected connection. The foundation received 3 new cases that week, Diana reported during dinner. Families discovering their fertility treatments involved trafficked genetic materials. Adrian nodded, understanding the impact. "We will help them find truth, just like we did with the twins." Daniel Wright had moved to Boston, rebuilding his life away from Portland's painful memories. He sent regular updates about his healing process, his messages to the twins now honest about his role in their lives. "Uncle Daniel's doing better," Mason commented, reading his latest email. "He's teaching at a business school now, teaching ethics." Adrian noted with appreciation for life's symmetry, knowing that every hidden agenda had been replaced by genuine connection. The twins' recovery amazed Dr. Rebecca Torres. "They're remarkably resilient," she observed during their monthly review. "The transparency you've maintained, the support system you've built, it's exactly what they needed." Adrian had approached healing his family like a complex surgery. Identify the damage, remove the disease, reconstruct with healthy tissue. The process required precision, patience, and unwavering commitment to ultimate recovery. The Foundation's work expanded, identifying similar genetic trafficking operations worldwide. Adrian's medical expertise combined with Diana's investigative skills exposed increasingly sophisticated schemes. "You've turned pain into purpose," Sophia observed one evening as the twins completed their homework. "These children understand integrity because they've seen its importance." Adrian watched his children, products of an illegal premium genetic collection, born of international trafficking and elaborate fraud, grow into themselves. Their true inheritance wasn't designer genetics or careful selection. It was the determination they'd learned from watching him fight for truth. The quiet moments meant the most now. No hidden agendas, no elaborate deceptions, no pressure to maintain appearances. Just a father and his children building genuine connections. "Daddy," Mason asked one night, "are you still angry at grandfather and mother?" Adrian considered carefully. "I'm angry at their choices," he explained, "but that anger helped me fight for what matters: truth, justice, and protecting you both." The twins absorbed his words, understanding that their father's strength came not from fury, but from unwavering principle. He hadn't sought revenge. He demanded justice. Having compromised with evil, he had excised it completely. Their reconstructed life proved stronger than the elaborate facade it replaced. Adrian had cut away the cancer of deception, allowing healthy tissue to regenerate. His ruthlessness served healing rather than hatred. The final proof came unexpectedly. Olivia Stone, working on a family tree project, asked about their genetic heritage. "We know about the premium collection, about grandfather's schemes and mother's lies. But that's not our real heritage, is it?" "No," Adrian confirmed. "Your real heritage is the strength you've shown in facing truth, the integrity you've developed through understanding right from wrong, and the love you've built with people who choose honesty over appearance." The twins shared a look of pure comprehension. Their father had not hidden painful truths or cushioned harsh realities. He had shown them how to face darkness with determination, how to rebuild from betrayal with principle, how to transform tragedy into triumph. They were his children not through genetics, but through choice. The choice to value truth over convenience, justice over profit, genuine connection over superficial perfection. The quiet determination that had guided Adrian through countless surgeries now shone in their eyes, a legacy more powerful than any designer genetics could provide. Camilla Montgomery Stone eventually found herself alone in a prison cell, staring at a newspaper clipping announcing another successful exhibition at the Stone Foundation Gallery for Recovered Art. Her once elegant hands, now rough from prison labor, traced the image of her children standing beside their father at the opening ceremony. Ava and Mason Stone, now 15, had grown into poised young adults. Their genetic heritage, once Victor Knight's premium merchandise, had indeed produced exceptional results, though not in the ways Edward Stone had envisioned. Ava was following in her father's footsteps into medicine, her steady hands and precise mind already marked for early admission to prestigious medical programs. Mason, ironically, excelled in international law and ethics, his understanding of complex moral issues shaped by his family's history. The article mentioned neither Camilla nor Edward Stone. Their names had become footnotes in a scandal that transformed genetic medicine. Camilla's 25-year sentence for fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy had stripped away everything: her artistic reputation, her social status, her freedom. The art world had systematically erased her. Her genuine works destroyed or relabeled as fraud, her name becoming synonymous with deception. "Visitor for Montgomery," a guard announced. Daniel Wright stood in the visiting room, his Boston professor's attire a stark contrast to her prison uniform. "You look well, Daniel." Camilla attempted her old charm. "Save it," he cut her off. "I'm here because Adrian thought you should know. Edward died last week in federal custody." Camilla's mask cracked slightly. "Edward Stone, orchestrator of our elaborate deception, succumbed to cancer in his maximum security cell. His multi-billion-dollar empire crumbled years ago, its assets seized and redistributed to victims of his genetic trafficking operation. Camilla asked hesitantly, "And the twins? Are they thriving?" Daniel's voice carried no comfort. "No thanks to us. Ava is already performing preliminary surgical procedures under supervision, and Mason is interning at the International Court of Justice." "They never visit," Camilla whispered. "They never forget either," Daniel replied. "Every success they achieve reminds them of the fraud we perpetrated." Every medical breakthrough Ava pursues aims to help families affected by genetic trafficking. Every case Mason studies teaches him more about what we did wrong. In another part of the country, Victor Knight occupied a separate federal facility. His international organization had unraveled spectacularly, each corrupt connection exposed by Adrian's investigation. The premium genetic collection database now served medical research, helping identify and treat genetic disorders. Meanwhile, the Stone Foundation had become a global force in medical ethics and genetic rights. Adrian's partnership with Agent Diana Harper evolved into marriage. Their combined medical and investigative expertise reshaped international genetic medicine protocols. Diana's FBI experience complemented Adrian as they systematically dismantled similar trafficking operations worldwide. Sophia Lynn had advanced to head of genetic counseling at Portland General, her testimony and ongoing work helping hundreds of families affected by trafficking schemes. She remained close to the twins, a living reminder that integrity ultimately triumphs over deception. The Stone Foundation Gallery showcased recovered artwork, each piece telling a story of fraud transformed into redemption. Paintings that once hid encrypted criminal data now funded genetic research and victim support programs. Camilla's masterpiece, Blood Ties, hung in a special exhibit about medical ethics, its hidden codes now fully revealed as evidence of international crimes. Dr. Rebecca Torres had published groundbreaking research on helping children process familial deception, her work with the twins forming the foundation for therapeutic protocols. The Cold Children's resilience became a model for understanding how truth, even painful truth, nurtures stronger emotional health than comfortable lies. Back in the prison visiting room, Daniel delivered his final message. Adrian's foundation is establishing a genetic rights legal center. Mason will help lead it after law school. They are naming it after Dr. Ellis and Christopher Hayes. Camilla flinched at the names of those whose deaths her deception had caused. "I never meant." "You meant everything you did," Daniel cut her off. "Every lie, every betrayal, every death. That's why you're here, Camilla. Not because you got caught, but because you chose this path." He stood to leave. Edward died alone, his empire destroyed, his legacy exposed as fraud. Remember that in your remaining 15 years here, every achievement your children reach, every breakthrough they help create, every bit of good they do, all stems from Adrian's commitment to truth over appearance. "Something we never understood," he added. In Portland, Adrian Stone performed another reconstructive surgery, his hands as steady as ever. Photographs in his office showed his expanded family. Diana pregnant with their second child, the twins at academic competitions, Sophia and Dr. Torres at foundation events, Daniel lecturing at ethics conferences. Each image represented a life rebuilt from betrayal's ashes. The twins had surpassed every expectation programmed into their designer genetics, not through Knight's premium collection, but through Adrian's unwavering example. They understood that true strength came from facing truth rather than hiding behind lies, from pursuing justice rather than profit, from choosing right over easy. Camilla's art career became a case study in international fraud. Edward Stone's banking empire illustrated the cost of valuing profit over ethics. Knight's genetic trafficking network demonstrated how evil could hide behind legitimate enterprises. But Adrian Stone's response to their betrayal showed how one man's commitment to truth could transform personal tragedy into global change. The Stone Foundation's annual report included updates on previously trafficked children, genetic research breakthroughs, and international legal reforms. Each success validated Adrian's surgical approach to excising deception, precise, thorough, and focused on ultimate healing rather than revenge. Professor Daniel Wright's ethics lectures at Boston University often referenced the case, though he never mentioned his personal involvement. His students analyzed the complex moral failures that enabled genetic trafficking, not knowing their professor had lived those failures personally. Dr. Olivia Stone's steady hands guided delicate instruments through microscopic procedures, her determination matching her father's. In international courts, Mason Stone's arguments helped strengthen genetic rights laws, his understanding of justice shaped by experiencing its absence. Agent Diana Harper Stone led the Foundation's investigative division, her FBI experience now directed at preventing genetic trafficking globally. Her marriage to Adrian produced 2 more children, naturally conceived, their genetics unmarked by premium collections or designer selection. Sophia Lynn counseled families discovering their fertility treatments involved trafficking, helping them process truth without losing hope. Dr. Torres trained other therapists in supporting children through similar revelations, building on her experience with the twins. Camilla Sell clutched one personal item, a photo of infant twins taken before the lies consumed everything. She learned too late that genuine love requires truth, that real family thrives on honesty, that an authentic legacy comes from integrity rather than appearance. Edward Stone's death made limited news, his once powerful name now connected only to scandal. The premium genetic collection he had valued above his own son became a research database, helping cure diseases. The international clients who had bought his trafficking materials faced their own legal consequences. Adrian Stone's surgical schedule remained full, his reconstructive skills rebuilding bodies while his foundation rebuilt lives. Each patient received the same precision, dedication, and commitment to truth that had exposed international corruption and protected his children. The twins' genetic heritage, once Knight's Prize merchandise, expressed itself in ways Edward never imagined. Ava's gift for healing, Mason's passion for justice, the twins' unwavering commitment to truth, proved less influential than Adrian's example of principled strength. Daniel's final prison visit to Camilla marked the end of an era. The conspirators who had orchestrated international genetic trafficking through art fraud and banking schemes had faced justice. Those who chose truth, Daniel, Sophia, Dr. Torres, helped build something better from the wreckage. The Stone Foundation's work continued transforming genetic medicine through ethical research and victim support. Adrian and Diana's younger children grew up understanding their older siblings' unique heritage, learning that family transcends genetics through love, truth, and unwavering principle. Camilla Montgomery would never again create art or influence her children's lives. Her remaining prison years stretched ahead, a daily reminder that the price of betrayal compounds over time. The woman who chose appearance over authenticity, deception over truth, would watch her children thrive without her. Their success built on exposing everything she had helped hide. Edward Stone's death ended a dynasty built on corruption, while Adrian Stone's integrity established a legacy of genuine healing. The surgeon who had cut out betrayal's cancer with precise, ruthless determination had reconstructed something far more valuable than the facade it replaced. The premium genetic collection, once sold to international elites, now helped ordinary families understand and treat inherited conditions. The art that hid criminal codes funded support for trafficking victims. The corrupt empire that valued profit over truth crumbled, replaced by institutions dedicated to justice and healing. Adrian Stone's reconstruction of his family became a blueprint for transforming tragedy into triumph. His ruthless excision of betrayal, his commitment to absolute truth. These qualities shaped not only his children's character, but the future of genetic medicine itself. The price of betrayal proved absolute. Those who chose deception, Camilla, Edward, Knight, lost everything. Those who chose truth helped build safeguards preventing similar crimes, and Adrian Stone's unwavering principle ensured that integrity, not designer genetics, would define his children's true inheritance.